Now, the deep state, they are in a full panic. They don't know what to do at this point. So they're going after Trump because there is no Russian collusion, and they're trying to bring up that he made some type of campaign contribution, which is in violation when he was running for president, and they're going to get him on this and they're going to throw him in jail. And Trump went out and he defended the payments, which were actually made by Michael Cohen to women. Now, all of this happened through Michael Cohen. And Trump is out there and he said the following: Democrats can't find a smoking gun. Yes, he misspelled this word. It's supposed to be smoking. He did it on purpose, and we'll discuss that in just a minute. Smoking gun, tying the Trump campaign to Russia after James Comey's testimony. No smoking gun. No collusion. At Fox News, that's because there was no collusion, all caps. So now the Dems go to a simple private transaction, wrongly call it a campaign contribution, which it was not. But even if it was, it is only a civil case like Obama's, but it was done correctly by a lawyer, and there would not even be a fine. Lawyer's liability if he made a mistake, not me. Cohen just trying to get his sentence reduced, all caps, witch hunt with an exclamation point. Now, think about why Trump makes these typos. First, there are clues. These are clues to the Annans to, let them know that something's happening. The other reason is because he wants the mainstream media to pick up his tweets and show them on television. Why? Because he wants what he's saying out there for all those people that are sleeping, that are not awake yet. Because even though people are reading this and maybe they're laughing at it, it still seeps into their subconscious. They're still hearing what he says. Now, of course, the mainstream media thinks that it's very funny that he's making all these typos, but when you really look at it, he's forcing them to do something that they normally wouldn't do. And that is present this to all the people that are sleeping. Now, what's more damaging than waking up all the people that are sleeping? What thing does the deep state, the central banks, what don't they want? They don't want people woken up. But by presenting these tweets and letting it seep into the subconscious, they're going to think, they're going to wake up. And of course, Trump gets to troll the mainstream media. Now, Greg Jarrett tweeted out the following: Robert Khuzami, the acting U.S. attorney, filed a sentencing memo claiming President Trump organized illegal payments. Khuzami doesn't know the law. Non-disclosure contracts are legal in every state. It's not an illegal campaign contribution, not a crime. Khuzami is wrong. Median Politics responded to Greg Jarrett. Arrangements for paying claims were made a year before Trump announced his run for presidency, and actually took a shot, and it says, Attorney 1 then contacted the editor-in-chief, Editor 1, of a popular tabloid magazine, Magazine 1, and offered to sell the story to Magazine 1. The chairman and chief executive officer, Chairman 1, of the media company that owns Magazine 1, had a prior relationship with Individual 1 and Cohen. In August 2014, Chairman 1 had met with Cohen and Individual 1 and had offered to help deal the negative stories about Individual 1's relationship with women by identifying such stories so they could be purchased and killed. This is in August of 2014. They have nothing here. They're trying to figure out ways to go after Trump, and it's not going to work. So what are they actually doing? Well, it's the same as Russian collusion. They're trying to push this out there. Now, actually, if you think about Russian collusion, it's everything that the deep state did. They colluded with Russia. So think mirror. Now, think about what they're talking about now. Campaign contributions, illegal payments. Think mirror. It's really what they have done. And they're trying to use it against Trump to say, hey, if he did it and got off, so can we. Why do you think they brought up Ivanka's email, trying to compare it to Clinton's? It's all not going to work. Now, Sharyl Attkisson tweeted out the following. And this is during Comey's testimony. During the hearing, Comey said he didn't know the procedures of how the FBI worked and all that kind of other stuff. And Sharyl tweeted out the following. Maybe Comey doesn't know, but Mueller knows that the FBI must verify each and every fact prior to presenting to FISA court, or it cannot be used. As FBI director, Mueller implemented the rules, Wood's procedures after FBI abuses. Wonder why rules weren't followed with page wiretap apps. And actually, Sharyl put up the actual part where the FBI needs to follow the procedures. It's written down. Of course, Comey knows this. He was the director. He knows exactly what's going on here. So Comey also says that the FBI didn't investigate Trump campaign. However, if you look at the transcript from the first James Comey interview with the Joint House Committee, well, it's rather revealing for several measures. One of the more interesting aspects surrounds Comey claiming that the FBI never investigated the Trump campaign, and also yet claiming 4 Trump campaign officials had FBI investigative files open on them simultaneously. Apparently, Comey wants everyone to believe it was a coincidence or something. So here it is. Here's the redacted portion. The committee's investigation also reviewed the opening in summer 2016 of an FBI enterprise counterintelligence investigation into redacted Trump campaign associates, redacted Carter Page, redacted, and went on to say because of the sensitivity of the matter. The FBI did not notify congressional leadership about the investigation during the FBI's regular and counterintelligence briefing. 3 of the redacted original subjects of the FBI investigation have been charged. Now, let's read the unredacted part. And it says the committee's investigation also reviewed the opening in summer 2016 of FBI enterprise counterintelligence investigation into 4, that was the redacted part, Trump campaign associates, George Papadopoulos, which was redacted, Carter Page, and this part was redacted, Paul Manafort, and General Michael Flynn. And down below it says 3 of the redacted original subjects, 3 of the 4 original subjects. So that was the redacted part, the 4. And we can see that it looks like, once again, Comey is lying. Now, Chuck Ross expands on this. The FBI opened counterintelligence investigations into 4 Trump campaign associates in late July 2016. Earlier than previously known. So this is what Comey said. I was briefed sometime at the end of July that the FBI had opened counterintelligence investigations of 4 individuals to see if there was a connection between those. Any of those 4 and the Russian effort, Comey said during a 7-hour interview with the House Judiciary and House Oversight Committees. The revelation comes as something of a surprise because Democrats and the mainstream media have insisted that the probe, dubbed Crossfire Hurricane, that was launched solely based on information that the Australian government provided the FBI on Trump aide George Papadopoulos. So, again, this is a complete lie, and Chuck Ross tweeted out the following. Comey's revelation that the FBI opened files on 4 American, Flynn, Manafort, Page, Papadopoulos, conflicts with what Democrats and the media have been saying about origins of Crossfire Hurricane. That Papadopoulos was the catalyst. Wrong. It's completely fake. John Cardillo tweeted the following. General Flynn was charged for 1 misstatement. Comey lied hundreds of times in his testimony to Congress. The same USC 1001 statute applies whether it's federal investigators or congressional committees. So, that's strange. Why aren't they bringing Comey up on charges? They should. So Comey is out there because he's in a complete panic. He's being caught up in all his lies right now because he doesn't know what to do. So he says the following. that Democrats have to win the White House back for Trump. Now, let's see what else he said here. He says, the Democrats, they need to nominate a presidential candidate in 2020 who would unseat Trump, calling the president's behavior in office an attack on our values and saying that Democrats have to win. Comey pointed to Trump's targeted of private citizens and political opponents, including himself, and calling for criminal investigations as well as history of making false statements. You can see that Comey is panicking like there's no tomorrow. Then we have Schiff. Schiff is out there saying that Trump may face real prospect of jail time. He was on Face the Nation. Schiff actually is talking about himself because they know what is happening right now. Remember Post 325 from Q. Adam Schiff is a traitor to our country, leaker, national security, evil, TikTok, hope the 7.8 million was worth it. Then we have John Brennan. Whenever you send out such inane tweets, I take great solace in knowing that you realize how much trouble you are in and how impossible it will be for you to escape American justice. Mostly, I am relieved that you will never have the opportunity to run the public office again. John Brennan right now is talking about himself. He's projecting out. Brennan is also mentioned in many of Q posts. But let's go to post 1708. What if the UK government worked hand in hand with Hussein admin to sabotage the 2016 election? Data collection, voice, video bugging, creation of the fake intel dossier using X-Spy, co-sponsor insurance policy, POTUS election. No name, Clapper, Brennan, Rice, Loretta Lynch, Clinton, Bill Clinton, Hussein, and the rest. You can see that all these people are tied into everything. Post 2261, Loretta Lynch talking, brackets, bold around Loretta Lynch. Truth reveal Brennan, no name, coordination to frame POTUS. Brennan is scared. Panic in D.C. Think projection. Now, Jerome Corsi is out there, and he's going all out, suing Mueller, Department of Justice, CIA, FBI, NSA in a $350 million lawsuit, saying that they tricked him into lying, and he's going after all these individuals. Actually, this is the way to do it. Put them in the hot seat. Now, the suit accuses the special counsel of blackmailing him to lie as part of a legal coup d'etat against Trump. So we see at this point that Mueller and the rest, they're in trouble coming from the Corsi side. Let's continue on here. In France, we see things are really getting out of hand. Right now, Macron declares social and economic state of emergency. Now, he is out there saying the following. His administration will show no mercy towards yellow vests, protesters who have committed violence over the last 4 weeks of demonstrations across the country, while also announcing a series of economic measures in an attempt to restore calm. Now, his economic measures are as follows. He's going to increase minimum wage of €100 per month, tax exemption on overtime pay, and plan to not raise taxes on pensioners with an income less than $2,000 a month. Now, is this going to calm everyone down? I think not, because I think this has moved from, which this whole thing began as a climate change linked fuel tax, now to a anti-government protest, and this is spreading across other countries. James Dawson tweeted out the following. This looks like it is the biggest right-wing protest in London this year. Thousands descending on Westminster chanting, "We want our country back." Carly is tweeting out, "Now London is revolting. All this for a LARP." Q showed a picture of BBC fake news. So this is really spreading right now. And I want to go back to Khashoggi for a minute, because if we go back to Q's post 134, this kind of sums up what the deep state was trying to do with Khashoggi. This is November 11th, 2017, post 134. Why were the events in Saudi Arabia extraordinary? Who was arrested? What will bank records provide? List names, family history, investment, ownership stakes, and point-to-point contacts. Why is this relevant? House of Saud. House of Saud, U.S. control. Follow the money. What power shift recently occurred? Was a new king appointed? Coincidence? Dark to light. Why is this relevant? One side of the triangle removed, first time in history. Other sides falling. Now Q is saying that they replaced the king, they replaced who was in control, and the deep state was trying to get this back because they were trying to hit Trump and the Patriots, Q team, with this Khashoggi murder, which they completely set up. This whole thing was a false flag, trying to pin this on certain individuals to try to get Trump to react, which he did not. We also see China, their senior military official, has declared that Beijing should prepare to attack the United States naval vessel. Now think about this for a second. We know the deep state has been sailing ships into Chinese waters, and this has been going on since Obama was president. And this was all part of this war that was supposed to happen. And the deep state is still trying to push certain events in certain areas. We see it with Russia and Ukraine, and they're trying to do it in China. Remember, in each one of these countries, they still have deep state operatives, and they're trying to push some type of an event to try to get Trump and the Patriots out of office or to keep them busy with something else. But it's not going to work. Let's get into some of Q's posts. Post 2566 shows pictures of the yellow vests all over the place with Q on their vests. Where we go one, where we go all. And you can see that some did with magic marker. Some were wearing Q shirts. Some had it printed on there. It's all over the place. And then there's another picture of Geographic South Pole. Someone out there with the American flag. And it says Q on poster board, where we go one, we go all. And under this it says, the world is watching. United, not divided. Together we win. Where we go one, we go all. Now, Q in post 2567, this is December 10th, 2018, put up a graphic. Now, in this graphic, Q is trying to show everyone that the president is in on all of this. And on this graphic, it reads the following. I tweeted this to show I listen. This is the only post I will make. He walks among us. And down below from an anon, it says, Mr. Trump, if you actually do lurk here and you like this meme, please use the word amazing. Somehow in your next tweet, this will be a wink and a nod on the down low that you appreciate all of us here. Thank you, MAGA. And then the arrow is pointing to Trump's tweet. And this is, Colorado was amazing yesterday. So much support. So he used the word amazing. And this was July 30th, 2016. Down below, it says, in your next tweet. So here, it shows a tweet from Colorado was amazing, and it also shows in the next tweet, patriotic Pepe, at real Donald Trump, only Trump can unite America and fix Obama's mistakes. Hashtag Trump 2016. So, as you can see, Trump was on these boards. Trump actually tweeted out to patriotic Pepe. Now, patriotic Pepe, it looks like that Twitter account has been suspended. But Q under this says the following. Boards 4chan.org, giving us a link, and this is about political correctness and pointing to that board. Then there's another link that says twitter.com, real Donald Trump, and this link brings us to the patriotic Pepe, and this was July 29, 2016, letting us know that Trump was on these boards way before. Now, under this, it says scot-free with an arrow. Where we go one, we go all, because that has to do with the movie that we talked about. Air Force, basically what Q is doing here, let me just say this, is showing us all the Q proofs that Trump, Q, they're all here, and they've been proving it over and over and over. Air Force One code change, Q0 to Q+. Remember, on the cell phone, the 0 has a plus sign underneath, and Air Force One is Q0, one and the same. Q POTUS Twitter, 0 Delta exchanges. Fake news coordinated attacks. Number 2, only to POTUS. How do you safely, securely communicate through back channel with the public and bypass the fake news? Well, POTUS and Q, they use back channels through 8chan and 4chan to communicate with the public, which completely bypasses the fake news. How do you safely and securely communicate without breaking the law and violating national security? You drop breadcrumbs and you let Annans figure it out. Add multiple layers and coincidences, which mathematically proves legitimacy. Standard deviation, showing Q proofs over and over and over, and showing that these coincidences are mathematically impossible. Everything that the deep state is doing. All those things where Q says coincidence, no, it's mathematically impossible. Coincidence that Q shows a tweet that Trump made compared to a Q post with 0 Delta, mathematically impossible. At what point do people wake up? Q is saying, why doesn't anyone ask? Because they know it's real. It would no longer be a conspiracy. The mainstream media is never going to ask. I'm sure the reporters are instructed never to say the word. Post 2568. It looks like Q retweeted the Trump train, and this was all the different players behind bars. And it says, now that Russia collusion is a proven lie, when do the trials for treason begin? And under this, Q gave us a Twitter link to John Podesta. And John Podesta tweeted, let the 4chan lunatics and QAnon crazies commence. And this is referring to a Rolling Stone article. This is from Andy Kroll, and this tweet says, it's painful and crazy, former Clinton campaign chair John Podesta says about being the victim of the Pizzagate conspiracy theory. I'm pretty grizzled. One big difference is you've got somebody sitting in the Oval Office stoking the conspiracy. Now, think about this for a second. Why is John Podesta out there already talking about this? Well, Q says to find projection, to find getting ahead of the story. John Podesta is getting ahead of the story. What is scheduled to happen this week? It looks like something's going to be coming out. Coincidence? Panic? Let's see what's scheduled. It looks like there's testimonies. Clinton, Huber, Comey's coming up again. Coincidence? No, mathematically impossible. Panic, all caps? Yes. This is as real as it gets. Oh, it is getting real. Q says no escape, no deals. Add Brennan to the graphic and update. Evil has no place here. Q. So in 2569, Q says POTUS, NSA, United States Military, the Freedom Caucus, Foreign and Domestic Patriots, 2015, the fight to save the world. Post 2570, the Annan put the picture back up and added who? Brennan. Q says, thank you, Patriot. Fire at will. Post 2571. Q put up a Twitter link. This is from Tony Schaefer. Goes under @TSpooky. Whenever we see you tweeting like a seditious clown @John Brennan, we know you are projecting your guilt and corruption in your own vile effort to continue to deceive the American people. You know how much blood you have on your hands and the treason you have committed. Tick-tock. Under this, Q says, public awakening equals game over. Q. Post 2572. An anon put up, Q predicting the failed New York City bomber. So this is a timeline, and it says December 9th, 2017. That's when Q made the post. The anon has Monday, December 11th, is noted as an important day, and it says tangent, expand your thinking, Q. December 10th, 2017, the anon put up blunt and direct time. Initials are BDT, evil, TikTok. So this is from the Q post. Blunt and direct time. Under it, it says Adam Schiff is a traitor to our country, leaker, national security, evil, TikTok. Hope the 7.8 million was worth it. Enjoy the show. December 10th, false flags, expect fireworks. The Q's post was false flags. POTUS 100% insulated. Expect fireworks. Justice. On December 10th, it says man from Bangladesh attempted suicide bombing in New York City. Explosive device failed. Bomb was as harmless as fireworks. December 11th, BDT equals Bangladesh currency. Fireworks. The attack was thwarted. These people are sick. Do you believe in coincidences? Now, Q under this put example 22A, 1 of 100s, showing that there are no coincidences. This was planned. They replaced this individual's bomb with fireworks, and saying that this is just one of 100 of examples that Q is really in the inside. They're the ones who are calling the shots. Drops layered to provide advanced knowledge. Do not let them divide you. Panic button pushed. Q. So these are all Q proofs. That's what we're seeing here. Showing everyone that Q is real. Why doesn't the mainstream media ever ask POTUS the question? Is Q real? They're afraid to. Post 2573. The times are too grave, the challenge too urgent, and the stakes too high to permit the customary passions of political debate. We are not here to curse the darkness, but to light the candle that can guide us through the darkness to a safe and sane future. This is JFK. Post 2574. Q references a graphic by Ben Garrison, and in France, it's the Eiffel Tower dressed up with a yellow vest on. It says nationalism, holding the French flag, kicking globalism. And it looks like it's Emmanuel Macron, and it shows France on fire. Under it, it says the Great Awakening. And then gave us the Twitter link to graphics by Garrison. And that is GRRR Graphics. Post 2575. It says the plan to have the Fed raise rates, this is in brackets in bold, steep incline beginning March 2019, in an effort to kill the economy prior to 2020 presidential election, is known and planned for. Structure change coming. Now, we've been talking about this a lot in the first report. This is the economy. This is about how things are going to change. That part of the plan is to get rid of the central banking community. And in the first report, if you didn't listen to it, I went through all the different posts that Q put up there about the central banks and how the whole plan and how the whole world is waking up, questioning the independence of the Rothschild central bank system. Post 2576 put up a Twitter link to Samantha Power. Her link says, "Stop this, headline writers. If you want to quote this president in a headline, in an age when many people read only headlines, you must write Trump, a proven serial liar, says ... but best not to quote him in headline." Under this it says, "Those with the most to lose are the loudest. Those who knowingly broke the law in a coordinated effort, brackets bold treason, are the most vocal. Crimes against humanity. Q. Who are the most vocal? Samantha Power, John Brennan, Adam Schiff, Comey, Clinton." You can see what is happening here. They are afraid. They're panicking right now. And they're trying to figure out a way out of all of this. And they know what's coming. Everything is about to hit. There are no deals. There is no escape. Get ready for the hammer. Get ready for the storm. Get ready